If I was the regime, I just want to survive this and try to, live to fight another day. I also think that a revolution is very difficult, and that's like their great advantage. They don't really have to win, they just have to survive. They have to wait until the United States becomes tired of this and goes away. And they will be weakened. It's not like there is I mean, that will also be a good result. But in my opinion, if the United States stays the course, then this regime cannot survive this ultimately. At some point, the people, I think, will become so demoralized that it will collapse. And I also think maybe a limited ground operation can also nudge this. So, for example, if America takes over one town, right, maybe it spooks the entire IRGC and they just fall apart because they're afraid. They know that they can't really win in the long term if we keep on the pressure. I think from the Israeli point of view, we want a regime change. Maybe it's not an official war aim, but we know that if the regime doesn't go away, we'll have to fight it again. And who knows what the conditions will be then. We don't know what the American president will be. Might not be as friendly. So we don't know. So I'm an Israeli. So from my perspective, we need to stay the course as long as we can. And it hurts, people die and we get into debt, all this sort of stuff. But it's the best opportunity. So I really hope that President Trump stays the course, because if he does, he will win. And I think that winning, everybody loves a winner, and it will be good for the midterms, and it will be good for 2028, in my opinion. I'm not an American, so let's hear the Americans, but that's my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, there is no other choice. And this is why the only solution is to get the situation where the Iranian people could do a final uprising. There's no amount of military operation that will be able to end this. We need to remove the suppressing ability of the regime so the Iranian people could do an uprising. Allowing the regime to continue is not an option because, guys, everything you've seen the Islamic Republic do, a lot of the anti-war people claim that it's happening because of these military operations. But I am almost 100% sure that you would have seen all of this times 100 once the Islamic Republic got an atomic bomb. Like everything you're seeing right now, like people are like, oh, look at this, we're seeing this problem and that problem and that problem. If the military operation didn't start, we wouldn't have these problems. Wrong. You would see all of this times 100 once the Islamic Republic had a nuclear weapon and knew that nobody could do anything about it anymore, because then it would know that nobody will come bother them. So they would close like, think about it. It's like, oh my God, they closed the Hormuz Strait. If we didn't like, now you're trying to open it. Here's the solution. Maybe you shouldn't have started the military operations and the Hormuz Strait would not have been closed. Well, genius. Think about it from the Islamic Republic's perspective. Once they have a nuclear weapon, why wouldn't they close the Hormuz Strait forever and collect a bigger toll forever? Like, from the Islamic Republic's perspective, it would make the most sense to, once we have a nuclear weapon, even without a military operation, to just close the Hormuz Strait from now on, and everybody has to pay us a lot of money to go through the Hormuz Strait from now on. That would make the most sense for them. So, and nobody would now somebody could like this. All of this shows that we should have done this a long time ago. Not only it doesn't show that it was a wrong idea, the only thing wrong about it is that it didn't happen earlier.
Yeah, I mean, that's like Western projection, because Westerners,
Right.
some of them, they sort of think that everybody's like them. But these people, they will kill babies with their own bare hands, not as like collateral damage or anything, and regret it later on. They're different, and look at what they're doing now. And even if in their weakened state, we would have surrendered already, right, if we were then. But they're different. Yeah, you have to understand that.